Hello, I'm a random YouTuber who you don't know and who you should totally trust when it comes to art. To be completely honest, it's been some time since I've last designed any character. Although this is one of my favorite things ever, creating characters is probably one of the best ways for you to put out some great ideas and let creativity flow. I mean, it's your thing, it's your character, you better do what you want with it. There's no limits to your imagination. And I randomly woke up 2 a.m. on Tuesday, Wednesday. It was midweek and I had this great character design idea that I just couldn't stop thinking about. And my mind seemed to be able to rationalize some color theory concepts and sneak it in while I was semi-conscious in my semi-sleep state, because the idea was good enough to make me ignore my illness, and yes, I'm sick at the moment, and just draw him. And I have great plans for this guy, but I won't get too anxious and just start talking about it because honestly I know myself too well and I know I might just give up on this little guy. Anyway, I figured I had something to share with y'all for this concept, because I love to design simple characters. And although this one in particular has many clothing folds and a freaking flamethrower, these don't make a complicated design, really. It's a rather straightforward character, not too different from Team Fortress Spyro, honestly. But he's just different enough so you would never confuse them. And the key for that is color. Before we continue though, did you notice my audio quality is better now? Yeah, I bought a microphone just for you. Just so you could make out what the hell I'm saying, just so you didn't have to listen to me clipping and mumbling all video long. See what I did for you? How much I love you? And you're not even subscribed. You hurt my feelings. I'm helping you out and you hurt my feelings. Anyway, yeah, subscribe and like this video and your art dreams will come true. Now back to the color thing. My art style has no depth. I don't use line work pressure. It's a style decision I took some time ago and I feel very happy with it. My shading and lighting is also very limited. I just like the raw feeling in my own drawings, but this forced me to study and play around more with color, mainly contrasting colors. I won't get into much detail on color theory, there's a lot to discuss about it, but something that you should know is that some colors go really well with others with extreme ease. Some others don't really. You have to make some shenanigans for them to work out properly. If you take a look at the color wheel, you might notice that blue and orange are on opposite sides of the wheel, which means they are complementary colors. Now for this character, I've used yellow instead of orange. I really wanted to contrast my pyromaniac suit with the yellow color for two reasons. First, the yellow color is already used for gloves and rain boots, which would really match the character's tone. And second, sometimes you can achieve an even greater contrast with split complementary colors. This is colors that are right beside the opposite color to your main color. In this case, yellow is right near orange, which is the true complementary color of blue, which is my main color. So using it will give the drawing a very distinctive contrast. This specific split complementary color use makes each color in your drawing pop out a lot more, and that's why you should be careful with it. You don't want to be using the paint bucket on everything, especially on body parts or ornaments that are too central, too important. And notice how I've used the yellow color with a lot of caution. There's basically his gloves and boots, plus some few extra details that I felt could benefit from it, but I haven't used it on his mask nor in any part of his suit besides the zipper. Because again, it can overwhelm whoever is looking at it. Also, make sure to distribute well the split complementary colors so that you won't have a hard time drawing your character in different poses. For instance, the third pose I drew was a close-up on him, just his torso, which has very few yellow details, but I could sort this problem out putting his hand on the frame, and boom, contrast. It doesn't look monochromatic anymore. Now, why should you even bother about contrast? Well, when your character design doesn't use too many distinctive details, and their silhouette doesn't really make them feel special, color is the easiest way to do it. Again, we're talking here about simple designs. Of course, you can follow lots of different paths to get to the same objective. You can always mess around with other character design concepts, but again, color is the easiest way to get to it. Because although the silhouette is important, it's not your character, it's just a resource that will help them to become easily recognizable. When you don't have that, color contrast will make them stand out in whichever scenario that you are putting them in. Just imagine this guy on a game or anime, they would drive attention to them all the time. Now, this can be a problem, but we'll talk about that later. Before that, you might ask why I've picked blue for the main color in the first place. This is the most important question, actually, because the main color defines what colors will contrast with it. So the main color is not only the one that should be more related to his personality and storytelling, but also the one that should be used more in his design. Why did I draw a blue pyromaniac suit then? Because, as I've said before, I love contrasts. Yep, you can use a single color to contrast. But how even? Well, it all comes down to the cultural association to colors. This varies a lot from culture to culture, scenario to scenario, and even historic time frames. This is no science, but it's a no-brainer that red, orange, and yellow have been associated with fire a lot, because, well, those are the colors that you perceive when you look at fire. And nearly every single fire character uses these three colors in their design. Maybe not all of them, but at least two of them. That's why I designed my character to use blue instead, a color which is more associated with water and ice and anything else. I didn't just want a pyromaniac guy, I wanted his personality to be that of a sad guy who's in constant pain, he's almost always feeling horrific headaches, and this has driven him to madness and a deep depression that he can't shake off. He seems to have a laid-back and extravagant personality, but this is just a mask for his true feelings. So sad. A mask which he uses metaphorically and literally. See how everything comes together? Color usage is not only a visual aid, it's a character development concept, and you should use it in your advantage. And that's one last thing I want to talk about, this color usage. It will break the composition. I've kinda cheated for this one. I've been using a blank canvas, it's no big deal, but the more contrasting are the colors you use, the more it will be difficult for you to match them with their surroundings. I plan on using this character in more dark environments and in situations in which he's the main focus, always. But if I were to design him for a secondary position, a secondary role, like a sidekick, or if he'd share the screen with other characters too, I would probably tame his colors a little, make them a little more opaque, or even reducing the amount of yellow you'd be seeing. Again, this is related to the purpose of each character design. You have to think about that before even deciding on color usage. Anyway, this was just a quick tip I wanted to share with y'all. Just a little something that I use when I design my characters. I hope this had some use to you too. I know this wasn't as well structured. I'm not experienced in teaching, honestly. Sorry for my incompetence. Please forgive me. What you doing with that tomato? Don't you throw it at me. Stop! Also follow me on my social media. Links are in the description. See ya.
That pyro is a spy!